I don't know. I might have to give my own project an F. So today, I thought it'd be fun to do a little project update on all the projects that I've done to my 2013 Lamborghini Gallardo since the inception of this channel. I just want to go through them and tell you like how they're still working out, and then even rate them with an A to F grade. So let's go project by project and see how they're doing. The largest project I undertook to date is the Atoto head unit install with backup camera. This project required all the tricks, including custom wiring a plug-in harness with no cutting of the factory wires, 3D printing a custom bracket to adapt the new rear camera to fit on the factory metal bracket, along with brackets and a faceplate for the head unit. It took me a span of 7 days to get everything working correctly, but the improvement in quality of the backup camera alone was well worth it. Even my wife comments that the reverse display looks as good as her 2019 Porsche 911. While the sound is not a big improvement over the factory setup, I mostly listen to my screaming V10 anyways, and for the few times I do listen to music, it is passable. Overall, this has been a huge improvement, and there's even more to come with this project, so make sure to subscribe to keep up to date on all the improvements I make. Overall, I'm going to rate the head unit install an S tier. I could never go back to that silly Audi RNSE unit. After adding the head unit, I wanted to bring back the volume knob like the factory, as tapping the buttons for volume was quite annoying. To do this, I coded an Arduino to convert a rotary coder's twists into button pushes to the head unit steering wheel control input. The overall result has been great. Twisting allows setting the volume knob appropriately, and this has been proven to be as easy as the old factory knob. In fact, my knob is now closer to the driver, so even a slight improvement for me. Note though, as captured in my one-take debugging video, the original idea to power the Arduino with the USB cable was a fail. However, since I've moved to the 12-volt buck module, it has been working flawlessly. Overall, I'd rate this in the A tier, with the deductions for the initial blunder of using the USB and just the unfortunate way the head unit needs to read the button presses makes it sometimes feel a bit delayed when twisting the knob quickly. One of the best aesthetic mods I've made was rebuilding the airplane switches on my lathe out of Tease 6061 aluminum. The feel of the switches is way better than the plastic, with a weightier click, and even better is they look much more upscale than the plastic. At one car show I took my car to, a gentleman looking at the switches commented that it was one of the nicest interiors he's seen. The switches have held up perfectly and still look amazing, and would look even better with another light polish. I'm definitely rating these switches in the S tier, and hope to be able to make a few sets so other LP owners can benefit as well. The lighted buttons are a hit and miss project. The reverse button looks amazing, especially at night, but due to the factory design, the button feel is a bit too sloppy. The center buttons work perfectly, but due to the thickness of the buttons required from FDM printing, when viewing at an angle, they're not quite bright enough. Looking straight down, they're amazing, but that's not where I sit in the car. Finally, I had an almost major situation almost a year ago as I didn't use enough glue on the reverse button's PCB, and the button broke on me when I was far from home. After pushing like 10 times in a row, the car did finally go into reverse, and I did make it home. But then, when trying to fix the button in the car, I actually broke the factory push button on the PCB, so I had to disassemble everything, rebuild it all, and then re-glue it. Yes, everything works great now, but due to all the aforementioned issues, I will have to rate this project overall a C tier. I think using resin 3D printing or machining the switches out of aluminum could bring it up to A tier. One of the first projects I did was the good-to-go 3D printed holder, which is working well to this day. For downsides, it is a bit tough to reach up behind the rearview mirror, and also it will twist a bit if you push too hard laterally, which would be fixed with some sanding and or gluing in some thin rubber strips. Otherwise, it works as intended and looks much cleaner than Velcro in the default bracket. Overall, I would rate the Good to Go holder in the B tier. Another early project was the storage unit I built at the back of the center console. While it held up well and did the job, over time I found I wasn't really using it much. Further, it was blocked from opening if using a cup in the cup holder. I also didn't like that it required Velcro on the back to keep it secure in the car. In the end, I've removed the unit from the car and am planning on designing a dual cup holder so my wife and I can both enjoy our own tasty beverages while cruising. Since it still works, but I'm no longer using it, I'm going to give this project a D tier rating, but not a great showing for sure. I hope you enjoyed going over all the projects I've done for my Gallardo, looking back on them and seeing how they fared. And hey, do you agree with my assessment of my own projects? Maybe you liked one that I didn't, or think that one that I'm using is actually pretty silly. So I'd like to hear more about that in the comments. Otherwise, if you like this type of content of me doing weird stuff with my Gallardo and making projects for it, then make sure to like and subscribe to see more of this kind of stuff, as this is the stuff I do with my car. And with that, thanks for watching all the way this far. Godspeed, and I'll see you next time.